That airport was the worst airport I have ever been to. Hi, my name's Leo, and today you're watching The Conjuring 3. In all seriousness, I am related to Ed and Lorraine Warren. It was explained to me by my uncle how we are blood. It's not like they're my uncle, or he was my uncle and she's my aunt, but there's lineage. So I would expect that from time to time things are gonna get a little spooky. Ignore the clearly dark spirit that's here in the corner right now. It's a chair that looks a bit more ominous than I think it ought to. In today's video, as you can tell by the title, I want to wrap up and really drive home my final thoughts as I'm going to discuss the morning that we woke up and then the afternoon that we ended up leaving Japan. I don't have a ton of photos from today. There wasn't a lot that we went and saw because when we woke up from our Airbnb, which was located around Asakusa, that we didn't have a ton of time. We had to get over to Narita Airport. We came in from Haneda Airport and it was about 45 minutes to get up to where we were staying, and we did stay at just one Airbnb the whole trip. And then to get over to Narita, I think was an hour and a half. The train ride itself was really beautiful. I forced myself to put my phone down and observe what was going on around me because it gave a little bit different perspective than what I had been seeing in Tokyo. We did leave from Yahiro Station, which was not the station that we ended up using the most, and I'm so angry with myself that I don't actually remember the name of the station that we frequently arrived in at, and then also the station that we sort of was home base, I guess, if you want to call it that. We left from Yahiro because it was just an easier walk that day. Like I said, the train ride was about an hour and a half. We saw some countryside, we saw some pastures, we saw some animals. I took the time to put my phone down and I really wanted to sort of connect with what was around me. It may have been a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I really hope not. It could have been, and so I wanted to just give it my all, give it these last few hours my full attention. I will say when we arrived to Narita Airport, it was much more updated than I felt like Haneda was. I thought Haneda had a very 90s, early 2000s style to it. I felt Narita was pretty modern for an airport. I think that Narita is split into at least two different sections. I don't know if terminal is the right word. There might have been a third, but I think it was just two. Unfortunately, Salvador wanted to go to another traveler's notebook factory or traveler's factory that was located in this airport. Because of when we arrived and because this factory, the shop was in another section, the opposite section, we didn't have time. We risked it. I think that we ended up taking escalators. We were trying to find a train to get over to the other portion, to the departure, and we ended up calling it, ended up just cutting it off, which I know bummed him out a lot. We rushed back, got to our gate just in time to grab a few snacks from the outside vendor and get on our flight to go. I think that we were able to sit down maybe 10-15 minutes. We all took that time to sort of separate out. I think that Tatum hung out with Erica. I know that I personally went and sat somewhere off by myself, and I just gave myself time to reflect. I didn't know that I was going to make YouTube videos about this trip. I wasn't sure if that was something that I really wanted to do. As I've said, and I'm going to actually make a whole video talking about why I want to make YouTube videos. I do it selfishly. I love that I've been able to connect with so many of you guys, and we've commented, and I've been able to see some of the content that some of you guys make. That's been really fun, but ultimately I'm making this for myself, and maybe adjacent to that is my daughter, because I want to, as crazy as life is, I want to take time, I want to take moments, record what was going on, visually see what I look like today, and then 10 years from now, hopefully YouTube is still going to have those videos available to watch. I can look back and I can see what was life like, what were the struggles or what were the victories that I was experiencing. As I said though, that's gonna get its own video, which is not this. I am happy that I made the videos. They definitely stretched out so much further than I had meant to. So if you've been here since I started making those videos, I am sorry I didn't sort of put them all together. In retrospect and on future trips, I'll be mindful to maybe condense the content a little more and also put them out in a little more organized fashion versus here's some of this video, then here's some of these kinds, and so on. I do want to read for you guys something that I wrote to myself whenever I was sitting down in the airport having those last few moments of reflection. I will be sure to share this on the screen as well. A little context to what I was writing is that I knew when I went home I had lost my job. And I wasn't fired, I was laid off because of a lot of restructuring is what they like to say. I saw it coming. I said that before in this Japan series that about day 4, there were some things about my work that, for example, they turned off my access to being able to get work emails. That was a pretty clear sign as to what was going on. I would say I'm the breadwinner of my family. There was a lot of pressure that I put, not my family didn't do that, but I put a lot of pressure on myself to succeed and to do my best. And at that point in my life, and at this point in my life, that's to bring home majority of the income, and that's okay. When I wrote this, I was keeping that in mind that as soon as we were going to get home, I needed to start looking for a new job. I needed to get some things in order. Here's what I wrote. Remember this moment. Remember you want to be happy. Remember you loved being in Japan. The way it made you feel. Remember you may not deserve anything, but a happy, fulfilled life is out there. It's anywhere you are with love. Remember you are not born to work, pay bills, and die. Remember where you sat at Narita Airport and cried because you were afraid of what's next, because you were grateful for this experience, and because you were leaving a part of you behind. Remember you sat here to look out at Japan just a few minutes more. Trying to not get emotional. I was in such a bad place in my life. I don't think that travel fixes that. I don't think that leaving your comfort zone or your home immediately takes away the darkness that might be battling within you. Yet, Japan helped. Yet, I was reminded that day in Asakusa when we sat at that cafe and we ate and I took that picture where I felt so happy. I was reminded of happiness that I really pushed aside in order to make an employer who gave no mind to me happy, and to give them a successful business, and to make sure that they all got paid and could stay afloat. And I sacrificed so much of who I was to be a part of a system that really didn't bring joy to who I am. It didn't fulfill who I am. I wanted to write myself that message to remember that there are things in life such as Japan, or maybe every once in a while splurging a little bit of money and doing some self-care, or just buying that thing that you want. There are moments to where we can be a part of a family or a community that's bigger than us, and we deserve to have all of those happy feelings and love and just embody that. Like probably many of you, there are times that I can count in my life and look back and say this was a horrible time, and all for different reasons. Generally, this one was my work. I was being told consistently I was doing fantastic, yet then I was treated as if I was the worst employee ever. It really messed with my head, it messed with my mind, and I was in such a state of, I don't deserve anything. I deserve the worst of the worst. I'm disgusting, I'm scum, and I can go on. When we first were planning our trip, Sal asked me, why did I want to go? Was it for art? Was it for video games? Was there just because I love it? And I told him I felt like it was something spiritual. I felt like there was something there for me to learn. I stand by that, and I think that that occurred. Regardless of maybe what your belief system says or what your values are found in, I believe there's more to life than for us to wake up as just humans and to die and be nothing more. I think that there is such a deeply connected spiritual part of ourselves. I'm so happy I went and found a piece of myself that I had accidentally cut off. It makes me all the more excited to realize that one day I'm going to go back there and that I'm going to have new memories that are found in even more happiness and hopefully growth and fulfillment. Beyond my little sappy tirade, we ended up going to Manila in the Philippines, is where our layover occurred. I will say, if you cannot go to Manila, don't go to Manila. That airport was the worst airport I have ever been to. It was so unorganized. Their decision for how they wanted to check baggage 3 or 4 times for no reason. While you're at your gate, they would do these random, we're gonna do another inspection of your luggage. I've heard horror stories about Manila where people would have their bags looked at and then their bags would be taken to the back and then things would be missing, and they really don't have room for arguing because you're in a foreign country. And I've heard stories of women being touched really inappropriately, and mind you, whenever they do the the pat-down searches for random inspections, they put you on a literal platform and have you in front of everyone. Not even just your gate, it's your gate plus everyone else, and for the pat-down. So if you can avoid Manila, avoid it. Horrible airport. I hope to God that I don't go there again. I may, because those tickets were cheaper and Philippine Airlines themselves was wonderful. I'll cross that bridge whenever I get there, I guess. The question that I think lingered, and the question that a lot of family and friends had asked, and it is, was it worth it? And the answer, yes. I got to be involved in a culture that has fascinated me in so many areas of life. It's very layered, from video games to art to history to just cultural customs. It was the most amazing trip I could have asked for. In fact, the only thing I could have asked for is more time. When we go back, and I will go back one day, I'm going to go to Osaka, I'm going to go to Kyoto, I want to see more of Tokyo, places that I couldn't go to. And yeah, I'm going to go back to the places that I loved. I will be back in Asakusa because that probably, Asakusa is my favorite place on earth. It's so amazing, and there's something spiritual there. You feel it in the people around you. The final video I will have regarding Japan, I'm going to bring my family back and they are going to sit with me similar to what we did probably 5 or 6 months ago now. We're going to sit down and we're going to have a Q&A of the questions we asked ourselves after going to Japan. So if you haven't seen the video called The Questions We Asked Ourselves Before Going to Japan, I recommend check that out. I'll put the link in the description of this video. We will have that one to conclude my traveling to Japan playlist. You can check that out on my channel under playlists. I've put one together. It's in chronological order with respect to the events of my own trip when we got there versus when we left. That'll sit there and that'll be sort of my own memory I can go back to from time to time, and I hope that you guys can enjoy it as well. Thank you so much to those of you who are new to my channel, to those of you who have been watching periodically since I started making these videos. It's been really great, it's been fun, and I'm excited to see what's next. If I continue to make videos, what are they going to look like? We'll branch out, we'll figure it out whenever the time comes. I hope you have a wonderful time. As this is the holiday season, I hope that you are in a spirit of growth yourself and you're in a good place. And if you're not, I hope that you certainly move into a better direction as this year comes to a close. I will have a new video up next week. And in the meantime, take care, stay well. Bye.